Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Baden Air National Guard Station. This afternoon we will conduct an award ceremony and a retirement ceremony, followed by the 263rd Combat Communications Squadron change of command. Presiding over the ceremony will be General Charles D. Burnfield, Commander of the North Carolina Air National Guard. At this time, we ask that all please rise for the presentation. Please be seated.
Ready? Front!
Given under my hand this 16th day of November, 1994, Gerald A. Rudelsel, Jr., Adjutant General, North Carolina. United States of America, to all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by executive order, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal to Master Sergeant Joel A. Singletary for meritorious service 8 November 1991 to 31 March 1994. Given under my hand this 23rd day of June 1994, Michael A. Nelson, Lieutenant General USOF, Commander, 9th Air Force. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Senior Master Sergeant Ralph A. Little. Master Sergeant Dwight C. Floyd. Master Sergeant Richie L. Stiller. Technical Sergeant Lennon L. Barnhart. Sergeant Barnhart will also receive the North Carolina Commendation Medal at this time. Technical Sergeant Stephen A. Darby. The Department of the Air Force. This is to certify that the Air Force Achievement Medal has been awarded to the following individuals for outstanding achievement. Given this day, under my hand, Charles D. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Chief Master Sergeant Kenneth E. Swearingen. Master Sergeant Ricky A. Laney. Senior Airman Marcus D. Honeycutt. The State of North Carolina. This is to certify that the Governor of North Carolina has awarded the North Carolina Meritorious Service Medal to the following individual for meritorious service given under my hand this day. Charles D. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Master Sergeant Darrell D. Honeycutt. The State of North Carolina. This is to certify that the Governor of North Carolina has awarded the North Carolina National Guard Commendation Medal to the following individuals for outstanding achievement, given under my hand this day: Charles D. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Technical Sergeant Ricky L. Dar. Staff Sergeant Kyle S. Barker. Staff Sergeant Jerry L. Kaiser. Senior Airman Kevin W. Wattenberger. The State of North Carolina. This is to certify that the Governor of North Carolina has awarded the North Carolina National Guard Achievement Medal to the following individuals for outstanding achievement, given under my hand this day: Charles D. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Technical Sergeant Timothy L. Arrington. Technical Sergeant Barry R. Everett. Staff Sergeant Michael G. Bynum. The Department of the Air Force. This is to certify that the Air Force Commendation Medal has been awarded to Master Sergeant Ronnie F. Hash for meritorious service 8 April 1992 to 5 April 1994. Even under my hand this day, Charles D. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Citation to accompany the award. Master Sergeant Ronnie F. Hash distinguished himself by meritorious service as the non-commissioned officer in charge, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning, 263rd Combat Communications Squadron, from 8 April 1972 to 5 April 1994. During this period of service, Sergeant Hash's initiative and exceptional ability contributed immeasurably to the outstanding performance of his section and unit. His dedication to duty, outstanding professionalism, and leadership aided immensely to mission accomplishments. The distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Hash culminate a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect credit upon himself, the Air National Guard, and the United States Air Force. Master Sergeant Hash will also receive the North Carolina Meritorious Service Medal. The Department of the Air Force. This is to certify that the Air Force Commendation Medal has been awarded to Master Sergeant Charles E. Hill for meritorious service 4 March 1970, contributed immeasurably to the outstanding performance of the Systems Control Section. His dedication to duty, outstanding professionalism, and leadership aided immensely to mission accomplishments. The distinguished accomplishments of Sergeant Hill Air Force Commendation Medal has been awarded to Master Sergeant James L. Lockamy for meritorious service 1/2/1993 to 1 October 1994 upon his retirement from the North Carolina Air National Guard. Given under my hand this day, Charles D. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Citation to accompany to certify that the Air Force Commendation Medal has been awarded to Technical Sergeant Wallace Montague for meritorious service 8 January 1977 to 31 December 1994. Upon his retirement from the North Carolina Air National Guard. Given under my hand this day, Charles D. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Citation to accompany the award. Technical Sergeant Wallace Mont. The Department of the Air Force. This is to certify that the Air Force Commendation Medal has been awarded to Staff Sergeant Samuel R. Richardson for meritorious service 2 November 1991 to 1 November 1994 upon his retirement from the North Carolina Air National Guard. Given under my hand this day, Charles D. Burnfield, Commander, North Carolina Air National Guard. Citation to accompany the award. Sergeant Samuel Richardson distinguished himself by meritorious service as Communications Systems Radio Operator, 263rd Combat Communications Squadron, from 2 November 1991 to 1 November 1994. During this period of service, Sergeant Richardson's leadership, initiative, and devotion to duties and responsibilities contributed immeasurably to the efficient operations of the radio section. The distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Richardson culminated a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflects credit upon himself, the Air National Guard, and the United States Air Force. Sergeant Richardson will also receive the North Carolina Commendation Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will conduct the 263rd Combat Communications Squadron change of command. The 263rd Squadron Guide-On flag will be passed by Colonel Stonestreet to General Burnfield, and then to Major Smith to symbolize the transfer of command.
Publish the order.
By direction of the Adjutant General, State of North Carolina, Major David M. Smith is appointed Commander, 263rd Combat Communications Squadron, effective 3 December 1994. By order of the Secretary, Charles D. Burnfield, Brigadier General, North Carolina Air National Guard, Commander. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have comments from General Burnfield, Commander of the North Carolina Air National Guard.
Parade. Press.
Mike Smith. This ceremony is a very important part of our military heritage and tradition. The physical act of passing the flag, along with the publishing of the change of command orders, formalizes the relinquishing of the command, and the acceptance of the flag symbolizes the acceptance of the moral and legal authority of command. Today we congratulate the former commander, Lieutenant Colonel Stonestreet, for his years of proven accomplishment as commander of the 263rd Combat Communications Squadron. During his command, this unit has performed in a high state combat readiness and was demonstrating their professionalism in the desert of Southwest Asia during Desert Shield and Desert Storm, months of many previous commanders, and continue this unit's tradition of excellence. He's a former enlisted member of this unit, and he received his commission in 1982 after attending AMS. That means that somewhere standing in the ranks this afternoon is a future commander of this organization, whether you're enlisted or an officer. If you're willing to work at it, of course that's one of the great aspects of the military and one of the great aspects of the North Carolina Air National Guard, where an individual can come up through the ranks and ultimately end up being commander of the organization. Today I'm extremely honored to preside at this change of command ceremony. Several years ago, even before I assumed command of the North Carolina Air National Guard, it was apparent to me that Major Smith had the potential to be commander of this organization. As it turns out, during General Keith's retirement party a number of years ago at Lake Lynn, I distinctly remember pulling Major Smith aside and discussing professional military education and some of the many with mutual respect. I'm also happy this afternoon to see so many former members of the organization and distinguished guests. We're especially happy this afternoon to have our Adjutant General with us. He made a special effort to arrive. He's been in the field and arrived just shortly a few minutes ago. But I think his presence really at a ceremony like this demonstrates the special regard that he holds for this particular unit, and it also happens to demonstrate his commitment to the Air National Guard. So we're very happy to have General Rudisill in attendance with us today, making this a very special occasion. Other special guests will be recognized later in the program by Lieutenant Colonel Stonestreet.
Thank you, General. Men and women of the 263rd and the 118th, it's always a pleasure to be back in North Carolina. As you know, the North Carolina Air National Guard and Rhode Island Air National Guard have a special and long-lasting working relationship. Most of that is due in part to the closeness of the units within the 281st Combat Convoy. And the architect of that working relationship has been Colonel Stonestreet, first as the detachment commander, and then as the base commander and commander of the 263rd. It's been a privilege and an honor to work with him. I realize that he has not done that all by himself. If it wasn't for the support of all the good people that I have. This is a plaque writ from the 281st Combat Con Group presented to Lieutenant Colonel Robert Stonestreet, to a true friend of the 281st Combat Con Group. Thank you for your outstanding leadership as commander of the 263rd Combat Con Squadron. Best wishes on your new assignment, December 1980 to November 1994.
I want to thank Colonel Nardone and thank you for all the support attended, all our guests that are here today. These in formation didn't have a choice to be here, but you did, and I want to thank you for coming. Some of the guests, the other guests that the General mentioned that are with us today, I would just like to briefly identify. We have Major General Frederick R. Keith Jr., retired Air National Guard Assistant to the U.S. Air Force Deputy Chief of Staff for Command Control, Communications, and Computers. Colonel John Herring, retired Commander of the 145th TAC Clinic and State Air Surgeon. Colonel William Mould, Headquarters, United States Air Force, the Pentagon, Reserve Forces Advisor. Colonel Bob Upchurch, who's the U.S. Army Advisor to the North Carolina. Mr. Bill Mullenix, Senior, Stanley County Airport Authority. Mr. David Griffin, Stanley County Airport Manager. Mrs. Edith Smith, that's Major Smith's mother. Mrs. Faye Smith, Holly and David, wife and children of Major Smith. We have Dr. and Mrs. Frank Stonestreet, my parents, my in-laws, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Griffin, and Vicki Stonestreet, Emily and Jason, my wife, and children. First, I want to say congratulations to all the awardees for your well-deserved people, but it's also ready to go to war, as was proven recently in the build-up for the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait. Just a couple of months ago, we had every volunteer and every piece of equipment ready to go that U.S. Central Command asked for, and you're to be committed to them. Godspeed to each of you, and if okay with your new commander, I plan on visiting often. Major Smith, congratulations.
General, it's with great honor and pride that I accept the position of commander of the 263rd Combat Con Squadron. I follow in the footsteps of some truly great leaders, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Stonestreet, Lieutenant Colonel Victor Lefkowitz, now Major General Frederick R. Keith, just to name a few. These men have established a standard of excellence that is known Air Force-wide. My goal is to continue this standard of excellence and work with the men and women in the ranks there at the 263rd to provide quality service to the local community, the state of North Carolina, and the United States of America. It's through your